Dwight Foster doing what he does best, going in deep, and talk about a two-hander.
Knocked away by Liu. Larson put it right out in front, and Lambert's shot was blocked by Liu. Lane Lambert, what an opportunity he had. Penalty is over, and Ramage is back on, and they're 2-on-1 down the ice. Babbage over the line. Babbage with a drive, and the save made. The rebound, they score!
Really, the lucky bounce right back out to Delorme, and Delorme really put it back in just under the top crossbar.
Cleared it over on the left wing. There's Gilmore with a drive that went wide of the net. Reed played it in behind the goal, a centering pass, and they score! Pettersson! And it's 2-0. To Ogrodnik, center ice to Yzerman. Steve Yzerman pulled away from Gilmore, and then he's bumped heavily to the ice by Rick Wilson. Deep in the Detroit zone, Dunlop had been waved out of the face-off circle. So too had Perry Anderson. Oh, a loose puck right out in front, and what a save made that time by Greg Steffen. They still scramble away at it in behind the goal. Now we've got everybody going at it. Greg Steffen made a tremendous save.
There's a case, though. Detroit won the face-off and put the puck right on the St. Louis player's stick, and he had the whole net to put it in. Greg Steffen just threw himself back.
In behind the goal, it was Greg Smith, and now Lane Lambert and Delorme.
Oh, and Delorme's a big boy, but can Lambert ever throw those punches?
Lambert has lost his helmet, but the two of them, and now it's Delorme landing the right hand, and Lambert came back with one of his own, and Delorme sends Lambert to the ice, swinging away. Well, I think we're going to have one of these nights.
Yes, it looks like it. This isn't going to hurt the Red Wings, Bruce, because Detroit has not played a lick here in the first period, and it takes 60 minutes for a hockey game. They'll get their act together.
Well, the crowd up and cheering Delorme. He won the latter half of the fight.
And Hickey there by himself, and Hickey come close to knocking it back in the net, even from behind the net. That's where all the little pushing started.
Now we're back to the... And he was tied up, and Babbage tries the other side. Colin Campbell moved in to hold it there. Dwight Foster took a whack along the board from Johnson. They still struggle. Danny Gare in the middle of it all. Foster went in and knocked the player down. The referee has stopped it. And Danny Gare, I believe it's Ramage over there in the corner.
Ramage or Johnson.
It is Johnson.
The Blues have really been using the body and getting away with quite a bit, but they come out here ready to go.
Here's Danny Gare. He's got the puck over the line into the St. Louis zone with a shot, and the save made by Liu. This Gare cut in, fired it on the angle. Liu stayed with it. Here's Mano out of the corner. Held it there for Gare. Danny Gare into the circle with a shot. The save made. A bouncing puck, and they score. Danny Gare just kept following up, and the Red Wings are on the board. It's 2-1. Off the side of his own goal to Larson. Larson having trouble with Chouinard. Trying to pull away from him. It comes up the left side, and now a penalty is coming up to St. Louis. The Wings on the delayed call, and now Larson, he and the St. Louis player Schofield over in the corner. Schofield was going to get the penalty, and now Larson drives Schofield to the ice. Now Larson is going to get one too, as he was swinging away at Schofield, but the two of them are in a battle, and the Wings may end up with a power play opportunity, but we can't be too sure of it. The two linesmen in between Schofield and Larson. This started back a little while ago.
Yes. Right out in front of the Detroit goal, and the play was in center ice, and they had words, but here's a case where Chouinard got the hook on Larson. Larson made the play. Oh, he threw an elbow in Reed Larson's face. And this is what started it all. Look at the elbow that Schofield threw. That's where the penalty was coming up, and then Larson's got a bad head because he's holding his...
Can you believe the St. Louis fans up and cheering out there?
Now, that wasn't caused by the fight. That was caused by the original blow, an elbow, and that's when the penalty was going to be called. Then Reed went over and got back into the fight, so he will get a penalty too. But
yeah, but Schofield will get, I am sure, a little more. Matter of fact, Schofield could get a 5-minute major because Larson has been injured.
Depending if Larson is cut, Bruce, I don't know if he's cut or
well,
if
they had a pad. They had a pad up around his forehead.
He is mad. I know that. He has to go to the dressing room. He probably is going for stitches.
It is 2-1. St. Louis leads the game. Referee Newell talking to his linesman now, attempting to sort out the penalties. Schofield is in the penalty box. He was a former Red Wing property.
But Detroit have come out here and played a different second period, but this is after the Schofield will not fight Larson. He turns around and he's just...
Yeah, but Schofield is a fighter.
I know he is, but he has his back to the play, but it's the elbow that hit Larson right as he come around behind the net. There, the elbow right in the face, and that's when the penalty was called.
This is Newell, the referee.
Larson, 2 minutes for roughing. I've got Schofield, 2 minutes for elbowing, and the match penalty. Deliberate attempt.
Well, you heard it. The Red Wings don't get a thing out of it.
Well, they lose
Yeah,
Schofield.
but that's no great loss.
A match penalty, and
Schofield, the Red Wings yelling at him all the way down the ice. He gets a match penalty for deliberate attempt to injure, but that doesn't mean a thing because both of them are going to get 2 minutes.
Oh, now you've got Barclay Plager, the assistant coach, up really going. Demers.
So Schofield gets 2 for elbowing and 5 now. All has been confusion here. The crowd very, very unhappy.
Now he's over explaining to Demers, the coach, just what the reason for the foul.
Blues bounce the puck back into the Detroit zone. A race after it. Gilmore and Greg Smith. Smith gets there first, and the icing call is against St. Louis, and now Gilmore and Smith threaten to go at one another.
Oh, we're going to have one of these nights where every time someone's checked, there's going to be a little...
No, but what Detroit wants to do now is stay on the ice. And turns, fired it in behind his own goal. Now it's bowled over by John Barrett. The Mirko pulls up at the blue line. Played it over on the right side. Now it's Johnson, or rather Delorme. Down the left side is Anderson digging into the Detroit zone, and Larson angles him in along the boards. They hold one another there. Lattiser gets it loose for Aubry. Now Pierre Aubry heads back at center ice. Now Larson and the St. Louis player going at it down in the corner deep in the St. Louis end. And the two of them go to the ice. And I am afraid that's the kind of a night we're going to have all evening long.
There's no doubt about it. The feelings are really running high now. Well, it's a case of Anderson trying to go inside, and Reed got his arm in front of him, just pushed him along the boards, and then finally took him in pretty good, but they both had their arms around one another. When they got up, Lattiser got pushed into the fray also, so then Larson and Anderson got started. Reed got a hold of his leg and upended him as though he was in a rodeo.
So 7 minutes apiece. We'll be back with more. Let's pause for this.
Steve Yzerman trying to stick handle his way out of the zone with the puck, and Gilmore threw the elbow right up in his face, hauled him down, wound up getting a penalty.
Ivan Boldarev sends it back to Park. Park didn't take the shot. Now he does. It was knocked down out in front of loose puck. They scramble after it. It's still in the goal crease, and they've whistled it down, and now Kissio, no less, and the St. Louis player are tangling. That's the defenseman Johnson, I believe, and Kelly Kissio's down on top of him. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Well, there was the first real good opportunity that the Wings have had on their power play for putting a screen out in front, and it was Kissio and Lambert that were both out at the top of the goal crease screening Liut. The puck just trickled through. Park's shot was partially deflected.
Kelly Kissio doesn't get many penalties, and this time he really drove after defenseman Johnson.
Well, this is playoff fever for you. The screen is formed out in front, but Brad's shot was partially, well, in fact, it hit Kissio out in front, and Kelly couldn't find the handle. Ivan Boldarev just standing outside the rim trying to put it in.
They won't go up, eh?
So the two of them will go for 5. I guess.
Well, it could be, but I would think
maybe
that was
roughing.
just a little wrestling match. There was no...
Probably roughing. You probably heard it. I couldn't. Roughing calls. Boldarev put it right out in front. Yzerman turns with it. Back it comes to Greg Smith with a drive. He scores! And the penalty was over. And the Red Wings still have tied the hockey game at 2-2, just as Gilmore came back on. It deflected into the corner, going in after it, Colin Campbell. His pass grabbed off to the side of the goal by Liut. And the play is stopped, the game tied, and here we go again. Well, this time Colin Campbell and Pichette have a grip on one another. John Barrett, stay out of it. Now it's Pichette and Colin Campbell. They're in a wrestling match off to the side of the St. Louis goal. And the two linesmen who've been busy here tonight get into this one. We may not be out of here before midnight.
I'm glad we're not trying to catch a flight out of here tonight.
And Wilson bounces it right to the Detroit net. Steffen stops it there. Digging in after it. Gilmore, he went sliding into the boards. Feet first. Here's Campbell. He goes into the corner. A penalty coming up, and I believe to Campbell.
Yes, there's no doubt about it.
Now the blue player Anderson walks back at Campbell. The two of them pin each other to the boards. But the Red Wings are going to play short a man, I think. Now Colin Campbell and Anderson. Campbell trying to swing over the linesman.
Anderson holding him by the hair.
And Campbell yelling at the referee Newell. Two of them will go off, but I think Campbell is going to pick up the first penalty. It all comes about at 3 minutes and 47 seconds of this third period.
Well, Colin jumped high and seemed to get up over his back.
St. Louis 5 for fighting. Detroit 2 for charging, 5 for fighting.
Campbell got 2 plus 5. St. Louis just got the 5 for fighting. Surprising there wasn't a penalty of some sort called for pulling hair. Usually the referees are very close covering that.
Plays it ahead to Ladouceur. He's got Dunlop coming up with him. Ladouceur into the St. Louis zone, going right in. Here's Ladouceur. He scores!
Oh, what a
play by Randy Ladouceur to give the Red Wings a 3-2 lead on a shorthanded goal. Ladouceur didn't get it out. It came out in front. There's the shot wide of the goal by Gilmore, who was open. A shot from the line, deflected wide of the net, and then score. Off to the side of the goal, Gilmore tips it in. And that's the tie hockey game. Puck held in by Park. Here's Yzerman picking it up out in front of backhand shot. He scores! And the Red Wings lead it 4-3.
Well, Steve Yzerman made no mistake with that. The rookie's first goal here in the playoffs on a backhander.
Back of the Detroit net. Steffen plays it along the glass. It bounced high. Conversations down there in the circle off to the left of the Detroit goal. Federico and Colin Campbell, they're yapping at one another. And now John Barrett, he's doing some shoving. Bob Mano, he and Ramage threatening one another. Bob Mano shoots to the net, and he missed it. And the play came right out in front, and Danny Gare scores into the empty goal. And the Red Wings take a 5-3 lead. Bob Mano sent it back to Campbell. Now Colin Campbell crosses center ice, fires it in behind the St. Louis net. 20 seconds to play in the game, and here comes another fight. And Colin Campbell again in the middle of it all. And then Ramage went in after Danny Gare over along the boards.
Well, I think we got some fighters, but I'd like to see Foster get out of there because he is...
Well, he just, I think, was just trying to hold somebody off. But Ramage really made a run at Danny Gare over along the boards after Colin Campbell and the St. Louis player. I'm not too sure who it was.
Colin Campbell must have had his porridge this morning because he's been in a lot of brawls here this evening.
You believe it's 11:30 coming on in Detroit in another minute.
You know, the puck was just shot into the zone, and Colin Campbell having words first, and they dropped, well, the St. Louis player dropped his stick, and Colin threw him to the ice.
That was Anderson again.
Oh, here we go.
Now he's got Ramage.
Ramage coming over and
Danny Gare.
Oh,
he went after Gare earlier.
He hit Gare when Gare wasn't really paying any attention to him. And he really did lay one on Danny Gare, and this is not this is a mismatch. They've thrown Colin Campbell right out.
Danny Gare can take care of himself.
Oh, yes, I know. He'll fight.
But Ramage gave him a cheap shot, and he gave him one earlier when he charged him over along the boards.
They're taking these players. They know what to expect here because this game is won as far as Detroit is concerned, and St. Louis now are going to try and
Well, you think this is going to set the tempo for the game at the Joe Louis Saturday night and Sunday night?
I believe that was Anderson that was in the first fight.
Yes, it was. And then Ramage is the guy that made the run first of all at Danny Gare, and then, as you said, gave him a cheap shot coming in on the second time.
Well, we'll have 4 penalties here. There's only 23 seconds to go. The Wings with a 2-goal lead. They have finally got this straightened around. Ramage is going to the St. Louis dressing room. Gare and Campbell have gone to the Detroit dressing room.
Red Wings pick up their at least 15th penalty. St. Louis their 13th.
And now what this series is boiling down to, a 2 out of 3 series with 2 games played.
Yeah, now we got a heck of a battle going up in the stands.
I hope this isn't a Detroit person too. Well, we're saying
is in a rather lengthy discussion with his 2 linesmen. Ray Scapanello, Randy
meantime, Greg Steffen down at his end of the ice, just doing a little house cleaning up things that have been thrown out on the ice.
John Barrett is having words with somebody over along the glass down in the corner. He's pointing at somebody. He wants the ushers to come out. Somebody threw something. Barrett was going over, just pointing at him with the stick. And the 2 linesmen are ushering Barrett away.
That's all we need now is to get all the fans involved in it.
I'm taking my Channel 50 sticker off my jacket before I walk down through this crowd after the game.
St. Louis used to boast in the fact that they didn't throw things on the ice. Well, they are certainly perturbed here, throwing everything they can get their hands on.
They are still discussing penalties. And somebody threw a cup of beer on the Detroit Red Wings bench just as the game came to an end. The Red Wings out congratulating Greg Steffen, and well, they sure should. He played a heck of a 3rd period here and really is a big reason the Detroit Red Wings have won the hockey game, and now they are going after the ushers are the fan who threw the beer down below us, and right in the middle of it all is Mike Ilitch. Mike was trying to congratulate his boys, and somebody just threw a big cup of beer, and the Ilitches were right there.
Yes, the Ilitch family is right in the middle of this. Marion is now being helped by the trainers down to the Red Wing bench.
And the Red Wings staying right there to make sure everything is all right.
Barry Melrose is down there. Him straighten a few things out.
But the Red Wings have not gone to the corridor or to their dressing rooms until they know that everything is all right behind the Detroit bench. And now Mike Ilitch is coming out onto the ice. He's going to be escorted by the team. He's pretty unhappy right now with somebody.
And Jimmy Lights, they're all there. Danny Belial is there. They're still pointing at fans.
St. Louis crowd can't be too proud of this tonight. So they're helping the entire Ilitch family now. Marion, she's happy as can be. So that's the story here at the arena in St. Louis. The Detroit Red Wings defeating the St. Louis Blues with a final score 5-3.